Hello, ladies. Hello, viewers. We're so excited for another episode of our Tapping into the Energy of Life. And today's topic, we're going to do joy and happiness. At first, we were just going to do joy. And then, as I started to think about it and Palak started to think about it, we had this little conversation about, there really is a big difference between joy and happiness. So I wanted to start kind of thinking about that. And what I've learned is that happiness is a feeling. It's just a feeling. And you all know when you're happy, you have a feeling. And it's based on something that's happened to you. Like, oh, I had a great lunch with a friend that made me very happy, or I got a great gift from somebody, or it's a beautiful day. So happiness is based on the circumstances around us, and it's a feeling you get from those circumstances. Joy, however, is an attitude. Joy is an attitude that doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Joy is something that's happening within us. So happiness is external and joy is internal. I used to always think that I was a really happy person, and I've remarked that to other people. I'm like, I'm fortunate I got the happy gene. And it's kind of like, to me, it's the language gene. I always say, I don't have the language gene. I cannot learn another language, whereas I'm both Palak and Maria are multilingual. I don't have the language gene, but I always felt like I have the happy gene. But now I know, I think it's more the joyful thing, that I feel joy. I feel like I have that attitude. Another thing is that happiness is, I don't like this word, but they say happiness is transient. The reason I don't like this word is that as a sailor, when we're moving around and if we want to go into a dock, they have this category of sailors called transients, which are the people who just roam around. And that to me is a negative connotation. Oh, I'm a transient, it's kind of like I'm a gypsy. But anyway, happiness is transient because it does come and go, but joy is permanent. If you have a joy in your soul, it's a permanent attitude. Last week we talked about gratitude, and I love that conversation. And gratitude is an attitude as well. You have an attitude of gratitude and you have an attitude of joy. And I think that they feed off of each other. I also think happiness feeds our joy. The more gratitude we have, we're happier and we're more joyful. I like to think of because I live on a boat, I thought about I have a vessel of joy inside, and that we have to keep that vessel full so that it stays afloat. So think about, when you're happy, filling your vessel up with happiness, with gratitude and love, and then you will have hopefully an attitude of joy that will carry you forward. So that's kind of my little intro into the differences between happiness and joy.
Oh, I must confess, I was very confused. I thought joy and happiness meant the same thing all my growing years. I thought didn't say joy and happiness. But when I looked at the definition, when we decided on this topic, I looked at the definition and I went, oh my God, that's when I realized joy is, like you said, it's something more deep internal, and it's a feeling which is deep within. And happiness is like an external reaction to a stimuli, an event. You can have happy spurts all around. But I really didn't know this differentiation earlier. Now I do, thanks to this conversation.
Yeah, I think also that joy comes from a mindset towards life and how that relationship with life is based. Like, is it based on life is a threat? I'm against life, I'm alone in life, and I have to fight my way through, or life is like something good is taking care of me, loves me back. And so I can thrive in life. So I think that mindset, whenever something happens to you, you can see the purpose, you can learn from it. And it's like a kind of attitude that you were saying. It's like an internal state. Whether, as you were saying, happiness that shifts with what's going on, because suddenly your inner state depends on something external. So I think that for me, it's really interesting in order to keep a good energy, good attitude towards life and build a satisfaction, like satisfaction in life. So for me, happiness, it's or let's say joy, to talk with more, be more appropriate with the words, it's basic for life. So to have a joyful life means to trust life in that way. So I think all these techniques that actually work to build that confidence in life and to strengthen that loving relationship with life are basic for our happiness. And I have a few stories to tell about how people, when something happens to them, they can get very sad when people comes to a reading or something and they ask like, oh, why this did happen? Why this happened to me? Why did it? And he's like, well, you can go on asking why the serpent did bite you and try to go towards her and explain her why you don't deserve it and make her understand. And then you can die because you were already poisoned and you were not taking care of yourself. So it's like, take care of your attitude, your inner attitude towards what's happened, and free yourself from all these things about why it happened and all of that. Give it yourself the meaning. So I think that is very basic for happiness when, you know, a breakup or something happens, or you're fired, or you have a change in your life, or you get sick of something. How can you still be joyful despite the circumstances? I think that's a basic thing for life.
And I agree, it is a challenge. Like, basically, joy and happiness, from what I understand, um, are a higher frequency, like the way love is a high frequency compared to fear. I was reading somewhere on the net, they were saying that if the fear frequency is 100, um, uh, joy and happiness frequency is 540 something or whatever. I mean, just as a comparison. And everybody knows in the emotional frequency, joy and happiness tops, compared to the others. So um, I think we are naturally happy human beings. We are just always attracted towards going for happiness. But you're right, Maria. The challenge is those situations happen in life and you're struggling to keep your energy high. Um, that made me think that looking at obviously my life, I'm no expert, but I can just talk about my own experiences. Whenever challenges have presented themselves to me, yes, they bog you down. Yes, they bring your energy down, but you can't be down there for a long period of time. And you have to understand and think, okay, how does what the energy of worrying serve me? You know, how long will I be worried and how long can I be? There comes a time in all our lives when we've said, okay, we've had enough now. I want to change. You automatically will crave a change. Sometimes you just need that period to I don't know what's the right word, but to continue with whatever you're feeling, no matter how negative it is or worrisome it is. But eventually you do want to come out, and then slowly you build uh, your energy. Once you're out of it, you will get inspiration from either the universe, or you start doing small things, doing small steps to get your energy higher and higher and higher, because that's how you're going to come out. So a lot of people will do different things. Like what raises my energy will be completely different from what raises your energy, Carol, what raises your energy, Maria. So some people will go into uh, drawing, art, some people will go into uh, reading or writing books. Some people will just go out into the nature for a long walk,
Mm.
or just spend it in nature. Some people will start writing poetry. Some people will talk to their loved ones. I mean, it could be anything, but slowly, these things bring your energy up. So I guess it's very important for each of us human beings, which I'm sure we do, is know what you like to do, which will raise your energy up, and then you deliberately work on it when the going gets tough. You deliberately work on it by doing the things that you know you like to do, which will raise your energy. And I guess that's how you, during challenging times, cultivate joy within. Because happy spurts will come and go, but you should know what are the skills that will keep me going during challenging times, which keeps my joy within or the light inside lit, you know? So, yeah, I guess that's what we all should know, what keeps me happy, and then work on it. Mm.
Mm.
This is supposed to be a happy
Yeah, one of
topic.
the
Why are you so seriously?
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was grief, maybe
was what?
grief,
Grief.
processing
Yeah.
a loss or a change
Oh,
or something. And it reminds me of a friend that used to work in family constellations, or she does family constellations, and she used to say, it's good to have a foot when you're grieving in grief, but remember to always place another foot in life. So you have a feet, one of each foot, one of each feet on on that. So the one in life keeps you going. Otherwise, you can fall down.
you know, one reason we wanted to do the joy topic was Palak is like the most joyful person I have ever met. And Maria and I are always talking about how much we love her joyful
Oh,
attitude. You know, you can be down on the dumps and she just makes you smile and makes
oh,
us all
oh,
happy. And we're so blessed, you know, all of us, the three of us are amazed at how we got together and that it was so random.
It
And
was.
it's just so wonderful to be together. And that's another thing about joy and happiness is it's contagious, you
Oh,
know, and
yes.
when you're around people that are joyful and happy, it makes your life so much better, you know, and you can tell when you meet other people or you're talking to other people and they don't have that innate joyful kind of quality or attitude, they're just no fun, you know, they're just not nearly
Absolutely.
as much
oh.
fun as
Absolutely.
being around people that are contagiously happy and joyful.
True.
So I
True.
love the three of you guys for that reason so
Yay!
much.
You know, do this exercise when you're walking out. Look at someone, a random stranger, and just smile at him as you're walking down the road. He smiles back. Or when you're walking, somebody smiles at you, and you smile at him. Just see it's contagious, and but just see the energy change suddenly in you, and you're more happier, chirpier. It works.
It works.
That is
It's
so true.
contagious. Yeah.
I do that all the time. And my ex-boyfriend used to say, like, everyone answers back at you with a smile. What's going on? He's like, well, I'm a happy person. You know?
Hold on. Now I'm totally confused. Am I a happy person or a joyful person?
Well,
Did we just
Hopefully
establish
both.
happiness
I
is
think you're both.
temporary? Both. Yeah.
I think you're
We just established happiness is temporary. But
I
I guess,
think
yeah,
I
small
have to
happiness
tell you
makes you
though,
joyful. Mm.
I have to tell you though, living on a boat, I mean, talk about, you know, ups and downs. We always say the highs are really high and the lows are really low. I mean, there's been so many days where we've had, you know, massive boat problems, and my partner and captain are just is depressed and, you know,
Oh,
hussing
yeah.
up a storm, you know, trying to fix a problem. And everything takes so much longer on a boat. It might be a half-hour problem on land. On boat, it could be 3 days. You just don't
Oops.
know,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
and so that talk about happiness ups and downs, you know, it was a lot of ups and downs. But I always tried to at the happy hour time, you know, the problems were resting. They weren't going to go anywhere or whatever. And then just to live in the moment and be
Oh, that's
joyful for where I
beautiful.
was and how beautiful it was. And that really helped me kind of get through a lot of that. But it's hard. And then there was a point not that long ago where I wanted to kind of quit. And I realized that my vessel of joy, I was no longer getting joy out of it. So, you know, we worked on figuring that out. And our boat is much better than our first boat was. So it's a little bit easier. But back to that vessel of joy, we have to keep it full.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you. What do each one of us do to ensure that our vessel is full. What do you do, Carol, to make sure your vessel is full when in those situations when, you think it's empty?
Well, normally I would say I would surround myself with people that, like you guys, that I love and that are happy and that are spiritual and all of that. But when it's just the two of us on the boat, sometimes it can be challenging. That's why I love you guys so much. Like, we're touring around and sometimes we don't, we might be anchored for a week somewhere. We might not go on land, but then
Yeah.
I'd have my Zoom call with you guys, or you talk to a friend. I think talking to a friend, and sometimes friends will just, allow you to vent, and you get all your venting out, and then, it's like, okay,
Lighter.
good. And
Release.
and then, and I read things, like your book, Palak. I'll pull something out,
Oh,
or just I don't know, just think about things that I'm grateful for too, is also will
Oh,
bring
that
me
always
back
works.
to happiness. Yeah.
That
How
always
about
works.
you, Maria?
Gratitude.
yeah. I like to laugh about myself. I think I have such a crazy mind that associates things in crazy creative ways that usually I'm just on my own thinking about things and I just laugh out at them because it's like I, I feel that I'm really funny when so I hug myself, and I don't know, this morning I was thinking about something and I thought, oh wow, this is like a kraken or something. Like an idea came to my mind and it's like, where did that come from? So I laughed at myself, and I used to do that quite a lot, to laugh about how I think. And so I've learned to do that because before I used to think terrible things and the mind works the same. So I used to associate terrible things all over, and it was really hard for me to get out of that mindset. So to train on thinking happy things and just make myself laugh and hug myself. I used to hug myself a lot and laugh at my,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
I love that. Hug
Sometimes in
yourself.
the mornings I just hug myself and I give myself a cuddle and I say, hey, how are you, darling, today?
Oh.
Or when I say the cracking thing this morning, I just love your sense of humor. So I just treat myself like I would treat a child or something, and that builds my happiness and my joy up quite a lot. And I guess that because I travel so much and I am on my own so much, I've learned to do that with myself. Because otherwise, I would have, yeah, I don't know, a friend or somebody to do that. But my friends are thousands of kilometers away.
No.
I can talk to them through the phone, but it's a little bit like you, Carol. It's like you're there and you have a partner. But if the partner treats you like that, like a child that is hugging you and it's saying, hi, darling, you're so funny or whatever, it's good. But when he's in a bad mood and you can see the storms around, it's like, oh my God. So it's about the same thing, but with myself.
Yeah. Louise Hay says that, right? Always in her books, that
Sorry?
how you need to, Louise Hay,
Yeah.
apparently she said that in her books, how you need to love yourself, talk to yourself, and, encourage yourself, self-love, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very, very important. And I learned that in Cyprus with Aphrodite. That's Aphrodite's island, the island of love, youth, and beauty.
Oh, that's very
Ooh.
good.
And there's an amazing thing in that island, that there's a stone that is called Aphrodite stone, and it's very close to the shore. It's on the sea, in the sea. And so there's a myth or a legend that says when you swim around the stone 3 times, I don't remember if it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, you receive a blessing from the goddess and you receive eternal youth, beauty, and love. So
I would like to
Where is
stand
this
on that
again? I need to
shore.
go.
I went,
I
I
need to
went
I
go.
there.
would like to stand on that shore and watch people before and after the 3 rounds.
Yes,
But
I
I'm
mean
sure there must be something, but
it's really like there's just that rock. It's not not something so beautiful, but it's near Paphos and it's a beautiful town. So of course I went there and I did the swimming. It
you
was,
did
of course. I mean,
3 times.
how
Three
you're
times.
be there. And
Okay,
like,
show me your before and after pictures. Come on, before and after.
well, this is the after, and I will show you the before. I was quite sad after a breakup, actually. And
Oh.
Oh,
so
I guess this beauty is after the 3 rounds, huh?
sorry?
This beauty is after the 3 rounds.
Yes, the makeup and the stuff, like definitely. So that then the stone is like a triple stone, let's say, and it's like 3 stones that bend together, bend towards the inside, and there's like a table sort of thing in the sea. So you get below these things and you enter and you can actually sit down on a rock. And the day I went there, it was the sunset. And so through one of these 3 places, you could see the sun setting
Wow.
the sea, and the moon was exactly opposite. It was a full moon. You could see the sun and the moon.
Wow.
And I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, what day did I choose to come here? And actually the whole inside became with the light reflected on the sea, and it was like green and orange, and it was so beautiful to be there. So I started to connect with the goddess, of course, like Aphrodite.
Yeah.
And so the message came like, you are one with everything, you're perfect. And that's the eternal beauty that you're searching for. When you feel that oneness, there's beauty in everything, and you're one with everything. And the eternal youth is the knowledge of that so brings love to yourself. And that is the only true love that you will find. So you
Oh.
beauty, love, and youth all together. So youth is like the feeling that you're loved and lovely. And to be one with everything is what makes you feel loved. And that's the only true love that you're going to get. I mean, not the only, but it's
So profound.
the true love.
So profound.
So that was really
well, and
fun.
I think you have to love yourself in order to love someone else, right?
And be loved. Because
And to
Love.
be loved, yeah.
love
Yeah.
yourself. You cannot tell other person how to love you. So
Yeah.
definitely.
It's like if you
Yeah.
don't value yourself, how would you expect somebody else to value you?
Exactly. So that was amazing in Aphrodite Island, and it's a lovely island also, Cyprus.
Yeah.
It's a very peculiar place, actually, with loads of culture, different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, also traveling makes me happy.
Yes.
And
Oh,
It's
things,
new
yes, yeah.
because newness, nah? Because it's newness. Everybody loves newness. It's new energy. You need that new energy to feed in
yeah,
to, light up your life further.
adventure.
Yeah, that's what I love about one of the many things I love about our lifestyle is, we're not every night because we'll stay a place, 3 nights or whatever, but then we move in the next island. It's just, you see so many different things and so many different environments between the different islands and the cultures and everything. It's just, I love that newness and difference, that you get to experience. It's not boring at all.
Not at all. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
I'm not made for routine. If I had to go to an office every day from 8 to 5, I think I would die. I tried for years, but that was killing my spirit. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that builds my happiness, is like not trying to fit into the box that everyone says you have to, but to
You
create
don't have to, yeah.
my own box. It's like, no, I
Yeah.
choose
Yeah.
my schedules, and I decide when to wake up, and not using an alarm clock to wake up. That's lovely. I mean, it's like the best thing.
Oh, tell me about it.
Joyful, that brings
Yeah.
joy to my heart.
Oh gosh, tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even if when you have when you have these 9 to 5 jobs or whatever, when we've all gone through them, but even within that, you get bored after some time, and you're looking for some newness. So you do create some sort of a newness for yourself, even when you are living that kind of a 9 to 5 job lifestyle. Yeah,
Yeah.
because human being, the nature is like that. You need newness. You get bored very easily.
Yeah, it's like forgetting magic, and
Yeah.
forgetting that life can surprise you, and that it's loving, as I was saying before. It's like a
Yeah.
loving
So
thing towards you. So it's bringing loads of good things. So it's not nice to be there comfortable with a thing that is not so good, or that it was good, but now it's not. like open yourself, like there's much more to see.
Yeah, true,
That's
true,
part of my joyfulness.
true. I want to do one more thing more in my life. I want to develop a sense of humor in the sense, um, every night before sleeping, I watch a comedy and put myself to sleep. Because when if you're not too tired, you hit the pillow, your mind will go, thinking about this, that, A, B, C, D, things you don't want to think about.
Well, you have to
So,
press the off button.
yeah. But you know
You
what
have
I
to
do?
press the off button.
But you know what I do? I put myself to sleep putting the Friends in Netflix, either that or Modern Family or any comedy. Just put it in my ears, plug it in, and now it's like a lullaby for me. The minute I put it in, I'm knocked off. I laugh myself to sleep. Seriously, I cannot sleep until I watch a comedy and I laugh myself to sleep. And whenever my energies are low, this is what I do. One of the things that I do is watch a comedy. I can feel my energy shift. And then you can do
Oh,
other
nice.
things because
That's a
the
great idea.
energy of joy and happiness is higher energy, and you've got to bring yourself there in order to feel it. And like you said, Carol, manifestation, I think you had said this, Maria, manifestation happens in that frequency when you're in
Yeah,
a higher
yeah,
frequency of joy,
that's right.
gratitude, love, happiness. What a magical frequency. I wish we could be there always.
Yeah, in
No.
fact, today I was watching a
That's
video from Abraham Hicks, and she was talking about abundance, like people wanting to receive, like get the lottery and all of that. And she was like, well, you need to be in the vortex of manifestation, high vibration, like high frequency, feeling that everything is loving and that everything is coming towards you and that you're open for it. And that, so you need to be in that vortex to actually manifest that all of those things are going to happen to your life. So money comes in, money goes, money flows, but everything is just perfect because you're there in the vortex. But if you're not in that vortex, that it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to feel that sensation that everything is all right and that everything is flowing. So instead of being worried about how do I get to win the lottery, it's like get into the vortex. See how you can get into the vortex, and then it
You
might
always
be the
said that.
lottery, but it might be some other thing, but money will come and go and abundance will come and go, and there will always be that flow of abundance into your life. So I think that's what you were saying about raising the frequency, being in that state, and she calls it the vortex. I liked it.
Because with the vortex, yeah, yeah. I love
Vertex.
her.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
also an amazing woman, huh? She's
yeah,
just got amazing messages.
I think so. So I think we have reached the point where we could close our talk with you today, because we want to keep it short and to the point. So,
This is not short.
yeah, well, that's not always happening, but we try. So today I think we have talked about the differences between joy and happiness, how joy is more internal and it's more like an attitude, and it's permanent, whether happiness is more external and it's temporary, and as Carol was saying, it's transient and it's more like a feeling. And then we have talked about how the mindset influences our happiness and our joyfulness, and how it's a very high frequency where things start to happen. So how to reach that frequency. We have said a few practices of how we do it, like loving ourselves, sense of humor, sleeping with friends on. And so one of the things that Palak was saying is, what do you like to do that raises your frequency? And I think that's super important. And we were also saying, like, when life hits some way, there's a thing that changes our vibe or something. So it's good to have that space to feel what's going on, to grieve, but don't forget to have a foot on life so that you get to raise your vibration, you come and you enter back into that vortex of manifestation, and how that has helped us in a traveling live on a boat, to Carol being with her partner on their own, traveling around, and then different experiences. So we hope you have had something of value out of this video. So you can comment and text us and share with us. And if you want, you can ask any questions. So if you like this video, do like,
share.
And subscribe.
see you in the next video.